This has been a very depressing show tonight. It's going to be a depressing show tonight, people, because we had to watch WWE RAW. Once again, you guys will get a reaction. First off, Mr. Hovig Darkeesian, that's his name. I find doing this show for quite a while. I had no idea what the fuck his last name was. Now I do. Darkeesian, how you doing, brother?
Well, I'm still alive after that damn show.
Yeah. Hey, you made it, man.
That's a pretty damn good thing, considering the fact that I thought it was my last rights on TV.
I was actually thinking that we're gonna take the WrestleMania theme song from WrestleMania 26 in 2010, and it's like, I made it,
Oh,
something. Because every time we get done with the show, this is what Trey's saying. He's always like, dude, I made it, I got out of there. Trey, how you doing? And are you boycotting this show already?
I hate wrestling.
I know you do. But dude, WWE RAW had some good potential. There was some good stuff there. We're going to get into the good stuff. Well, there's not a lot of that. But, you know there's something there, man.
No. I want to boycott the show again. If it wasn't for Boss Man Nick saying I can't do that anymore, I'll be boycotting it myself.
Boss Man Nick or Daddy Nick?
Oh, shit. Don't you do it. Don't you fucking do it.
That gimmick doesn't exist inside the show, Hovig.
Yeah, that gimmick is outside the show. Yeah.
Well, it does now because you just confirmed it.
Yeah. So people, I have an announcement to make. I'm actually a father.
Broken kayfabe.
Yeah, broken kayfabe. I'm broken.
Kayfabe is dead.
Broken wallet because now I gotta spend money on my son Trey over here for fucking therapy sessions because he can't get over the fact that WWE RAW is the same kind of quality it's been since 2002. God damn it. But hey, we'll get into that right now, people. I'm gonna start off with potential that we could have had, okay? And I know we're on the same shit. Seemingly, well, it's only been a week that we've been talking about this, but still, I don't want to get too repetitive right away. But Brock Lesnar came back to reply to this guy, Mr. Bill Goldberg, and I gotta tell you, I love Paul Heyman, but this is one of the very fucking worst promos I've ever seen Paul Heyman pull off, man. What do you guys think of that promo?
I actually was thinking about it. While I was watching, I was like, all right, what the fuck is going on? But after the promo ended, I was like, wait a minute. I don't think there was supposed to be a promo. I think because they're in Brock's hometown, home state.
Oh.
I think the whole idea was, let's hear what the fans have to say, not what Paul Heyman has to say. I was like, wait a minute, was that the whole plan all along? Because that shit was erupting by the fans, if you think about it. So I think, I mean, that could be it, that could not be it, but that's what I felt it was. So after I thought about it, I was like, okay, I think they were onto something. They were just letting the fans do their reaction, Because, I mean, even Heyman was bringing it up. He goes, we're in Brock's hometown, whatever the fuck he said. And he goes, and half this place is chanting for Goldberg. And then he's like, or he said that Brock's going to take it all out on you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I think this is supposed to be a fan reaction type of thing, not an actual promo. Because we already knew exactly what's going to happen. They're just going to come out, blah, 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 accept the challenge or whatever the fuck, which is pretty much what happened.
And that's the thing, too. Like, I think Brock Lesnar came back only because of the fact that he was like, hey, like, it's not that far away from my house. I can make this fucking appearance.
I was like, he's probably like, motherfucker, man, it's like 10 minutes away. Why not? I'll just go stop it real quick.
Now, Trey, I want to see what you think because you're just as bad as I am about this entire show. And just to bring this up really quick because we don't have a whole lot of time. I'm going to make this kind of a short show just to help you guys out. But speaking of hometown boys, Curtis Axel did a promo. And I want you, Trey, to keep in mind of this promo because this was good. He was getting the crowd hyped. He was screaming. He was into it. He's like, motherfuckers, I'm from here. Like, blah, blah, my dad, amazing, grandfather, all that bullshit. But, like, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman did not do anything close to how good Curtis Axel did. So, with that said, Trey, what do you feel about Brock Lesnar's promo? Or Paul Heyman's, at least.
What promo?
Okay.
Like,
like
it
exactly,
was 100% non-existent. Like, and you brought up what I was going to bring about Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel cut the best promo of the night to me because of everything he brought up. And even the whole thing with Bo Dallas. Like, he made me actually interested in the program between him and Bo Dallas because that promo he cut. But that whole thing with Paul Heyman and Lesnar, it made me care even less about the Goldberg match coming up soon. Like, Hovig, I'm still trying to stay in there with you, buddy, with the whole weight thing, but this made me care less than 75% about this match now.
But that's the thing, you know. It's one of those things that this type of situation with the whole Lesnar and Goldberg thing, you don't need promos to sell it. Motherfucker's gonna be watching that shit because it's fucking Goldberg and Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? It like sells itself.
Because I'm still gonna watch it. I mean, even if it wasn't doing the show, I would be watching it still.
Shit, man. If I didn't watch Raw and then just heard about it, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I don't give a damn. I'm still gonna watch this shit. This is something I've been waiting for a while. Like seeing Goldberg one more time. You know what I'm saying? It's the promos and everything like that is not the selling point for this whole feud, rivalry, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's the concept, you know. It's the concept. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg 2. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I'm channeling Anthony right now with this. So I'm gonna give an Anthony response to this. Okay, if if the promo was not important to build the match at all, as you say, Hovik, then why fucking have it on the show in the first place?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The whole point was for Brock Lesnar to show face because it's his hometown. You know, it's not like kind of like the fact how when they were in Miami, and then The Rock shows up. You know,
almost every time.
Exactly.
But the thing is, Rock talks, Rock interacts, Rock does things. This thing with Brock Lesnar, he didn't do anything, and it couldn't have been more awkward. But this was the most awkward thing I've seen Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar do since they've been together, and I love the dynamic between those two.
But then you also got to Trey. You also got to think about it this way: is Brock Lesnar The Rock? Like you know, he's not gonna come out.
Yeah, exactly. It's Paul Heyman The Rock. I mean, like, there's something different. Even Paul Heyman's good. Yeah, even though Paul Heyman's good, he's good, like, in the whole, like, 1970s territory style. Like, he's good in the, I'm going to build the big match feel. The Rock can go in there and not even hype a match and just be like, yo, Rusev, you got no dick. Lana, your vagina's loose. Oh, yeah, woo-woo, college football team.
Like, and not to mention, and not to mention, you also yourself have to know exactly what you're expecting when Brock Lesnar comes out because we already know he's the one that just stands there and has Paul Heyman do all the talk. You know what I'm saying?
And what I feel though,
it's kind of like the Undertaker back in the day when he never fucking spoke and it was just Paul Bearer doing the speaking for him.
But you know what I'm saying? My complaint isn't with Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar is known for doing that. But I'm saying Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman because they're a dynamic duo. Like Heyman does most of the talking, and this is what I'm talking about that segment. It couldn't have been more awkward. It was the most awkward transition of a promo between those two, and even the transition when they led up to the whole Nets match with Seth Rollins and them, it was just so awkwardly done. Like this Raw had a lot of problems with like camera shots and just transitions. It just was not done well.
Overall booking was bad.
And that's exactly why I'm saying that this whole Brock Lesnar Paul Heyman thing, I don't think was meant to be as a promo. We just wanted to see a fan reaction. That's why.
Yeah, and that's kind of changed my mind on certain things. I still didn't like it, but really quick too. And I want to ask you this. I want to start off with you, Trey. Do you think that a big part of this was because it was a very promo-heavy show? I mean, we had tons of these segments. Like, they didn't want no one to really come out to the ring and do promos and do like in-your-face stuff. They're like, hey, let's pre-record it. Let's show a lot of edited footage. You know, we got Roman Reigns over here from last year, by the way. I don't know what the fuck does that have to do with this year. And he's, showing him in Hell in a Cell matches. And that's cool that they're doing that. They're trying to build Hell in a Cell as a gimmick or as a character in itself. But do you feel, Trey, that all these promos is what kind of hurt like the main event of Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar talking?
No, because the thing is, like, let's be real. Raw has been doing this for years, so that couldn't have hurt them, especially with Paul Heyman being one of the best talkers in the business. I feel like that did not hurt that at all. If Hovik's right about the whole them just waiting for the fan participation, I should say, about that, then that was the most horrible way to do it because, like I said, it couldn't have been more awkward. It was just not done well.
It may be horrible, but that got the fucking fans going over there, man.
Yeah, but to me, that whole segment shouldn't have happened if it was for that reason alone. Because to me, that's just a waste of time. Not a waste of time for the audience, but how that looks on TV, it's completely pointless.
Yeah, and I think like the way like I know that Ganja was talking with us Trey afterwards and everything, and I tell people Ganja is one of the Midnight Chat Tech hosts, but he was talking about this stuff too, saying like, hey, like is it because they're doing too many things that are old school? And like for this, I think these promos are very old school, kind of like how they used to do in the early '90s, where like they're just talking, they're showing like little still images or like zooming in slowly, like hey, like I can't stand this guy because of this reason, I can't stand this guy because of that reason, I can't stand, you know what I mean, like this whole thing, and I feel like it was a very awkward pacing of the show, especially when we had like that very weird ass awkward contract signing between Sasha Banks, Mick Foley, and Charlotte.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
Dude,
with
whole
that
big
shit.
no, I'm gonna get you started, bro. Like for you, how did you?
God.
Because me and Trey were talking shit the whole time, and we already went off before, and we'll go off again probably. But I want to get what you were thinking, Alvy.
That was the most cringiest fucking thing I've seen in my life. Holy shit! I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, is this a pity party for Mick Foley, or is this a contract sign? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm watching.
Yeah, and I love Mick Foley, dude, and he did a good job.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, it was so fucking awkward.
He's sitting there saying that it's because of this match, this happened to me, this happened. Blah, blah. I'm like, Mick, do you know you're fucking insane? You've been doing this shit for like God knows how many years. That's why you're fucked up. Not because of one fucking match. Maybe because of 1 million fucking matches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to my friend. We were texting each other, and he was like, he mentioned the women's Hell in a Cell match. I'm like, yo, I was like, if they don't deliver, this might be the only fucking one that we'll ever see, because if they like break each other in half and not in a good way, and if it doesn't deliver, I'm like, you're never going to see a women's Hell in a Cell match ever again.
Now, I'm actually going to show you guys something really quick. So this is the webpage or the YouTube page of WWE, their main stuff. Now, to show people like, little images and videos for visual references while you guys are talking, I go through and they post all the Raw stuff. This is actually how something like Trey keeps up with the show and whatnot if he doesn't watch the show. If you notice, they don't have that fucking promo in here at all. It's nowhere.
Did it update?
Yeah, and it refreshed too. Like I'm refreshing right now.
Because I did see it on Facebook. I did see them posted on Facebook, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I think what's so sad, I was telling Trey this, I was like, dude, like, I hate that Mick Foley is putting so much energy into this women's match because I know they're trying to push the women's division as being a big fucking thing, but it's such a weird, like, thing happening when you have that seriousness and then you have something like this, Emelina. You know what I mean? You get this weird ass like, oh, by the way, we're doing sexy stuff again, even though we're still PG. And then you have something as silly and old school as that fucking stupid Bailey arm wrestling bullshit.
Oh, jeez, man.
I mean, it's
I didn't even know that happened because I was fading in and out of sleep, and then I woke up like, what the fuck was just on the damn TV? I was like, I actually saw it on like the Facebook clip that I was the Facebook stuff that I was talking about. I actually saw it on there as like a recap. I was like, oh, that happened.
Yeah,
man, I missed
this is the first time in a long time that I've heard WWE Universe, or the fans, I guess we're going to call them, chat boring. Like, I have not heard that in such a long time. And I had to agree, it was a very boring segment. I'm like, really? You got one of the best, the face of NXT, Bailey, in this boring ass segment with Dana Brooke. And I'm like, come the fuck on.
I would go as far as to say like, okay, like this is you work with men, and it doesn't. But I think they know that they just do it for comedic purposes, and that's cool if they're doing it for comedic purposes. Totally cool. Granted, I don't think funny makes money, but whatever. But the thing is, like all night they're making situations where like the heels are doing something that the good people should do, and vice versa. Like for instance, Bailey. This would have been funny if like the cutesy, like I like to hug everybody girl, beats her, and she's so much stronger, and like the heel sells it like, oh, ow, and then she cheats, right? But the thing that's so frustrating is, like, after this part, she literally, like, just stabs her fucking arm back. Like, she don't need to cheat. Like, look at this. She's not cheating. And take a little what? Boom. And it's like, right after that, she actually fucking attacks her. Like, she cheats, but she just won. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, see? It's like, why is that a storyline? You just showed me that the bad guy doesn't need to cheat. She just won. And she's still cheating, and it's not funny because you're seeing the good person. Ouch! Ooh! So it's like it's like a feel sorry for her kind of thing. Like they did that whole thing backwards. So
WWE creative.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's my answer all the time, man.
Like like Trey, I mean, I was talking to you, and I want to let you talk now because I'm talking a bunch. But like, I wanted to ask you, Trey, was there any times in the show where you were confused as to like bad guy, good guy, you know, like I don't know, positioning or whatever?
Going back to the whole Curtis Axel Bo Dallas thing, like to me, that was the only thing done right in terms of heel and face the whole night. In my opinion, because it was and Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn, that was done very good in terms of face versus heel as well. I might not like Braun Strowman, but in terms of the storyline, I kind of respected that as well. But like those two, like mid Carters, got something going with heel and face stuff. But then you got stuff like with Bailey and Dana Brooke and Charlotte and Sasha Banks, which is rarely done, and it just. I don't know. It was like a while back they were saying.
Hey, hold on, my security's going off. I'm so sorry. Hold on 1 second, because I can barely hear you. Hold on.
Okay. But they were saying that faces and heels don't exist in the WWE no more, and it's stuff like tonight that kind of made me believe in that now. Besides the two things I mentioned, Chris Jericho stuff was done really good. I can admit that.
That's because I don't know what it is, man, but Chris Jericho stuff with the whole list thing is just outrageous. I love it.
Yeah, Chris Jericho is amazing. Like his whole segments going through finding the list and everything. Like I love that. That was actually one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things of the night.
I think my favorite part is when he got stopped by that one dude and he said that he found the list. He goes, "You found the list?" It's like he found like the fucking like El Dorado, like the city of gold and shit.
One of my favorite moments of Chris Jericho of the night was when he found out that Braun Strowman had the list, and then Braun Strowman was like,
"Make the list."
Not only that, Braun Strowman said,
"I don't see Sami Zayn
on the list."
Like, he's on page 4.
And then he goes, "You know what happens with people that miss my property, don't you?" And then he goes, "You're on the list."
Oh yeah.
Chris Jericho's amazing.
Oh my God. I want to talk about that too. I don't know how much you guys got into that, but no, that was actually a nice break from all the serious bullshit that was going on. Because every time something stupid would happen, you go to commercial break.
Just talking about how. Yeah, no, we were just talking about how like that shit is just pure gold. It's just great.
Okay, now I'm gonna go and play devil's advocate though. I'm not trying to be an asshole, by the way. I know people probably watch me like, okay, this guy's obviously trying to be heel. I'm not trying to, because I love it and I really do. But here's the thing: WWE does not know how to like get on a joke and get the fuck off of it. Like, this whole episode is the list episode. Like, come on. Braun Strowman has a list, and then he's, every commercial break, he's like, where are you at? You had the list? You had the list? What? Oh, and then the Rising Stars thing with fucking Titus O'Neil. Are they like a team now? Like,
I don't know. Whatever the fuck they are.
Like, they're called the Awkwardists or something. Like, the Awkward Oddities, or I don't even know. Like, it's fucking weird. Like, I don't know what they're called, but I'm just saying that's what should be their name, because they do not belong together at all. But yeah, man, like, I mean, I can go on and on about like Cesaro and Sheamus and just how like the New Day are the good guys, everyone's cheering for him, yet they're cheating, and then Cesaro and Sheamus win, but they're the bad guys. People are booing them, and the announcers are calling them bad, and it's just what the fuck. And then Enzo and Cass cheat to win, and they're the good guys versus the fucking bad guys, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
I'm not gonna lie though. Speaking of Enzo and Cass, they did pull that shit off with the whole no mic thing. That was actually kind of clever, and that shit actually kind of worked.
No, Enzo and Cass are one of the best on the mics. Like, I actually, like, as somebody who loved them in NXT, but isn't really enjoying that main roster run right now, like that right there reminded me why I used to chant and love them so much in NXT.
That shit reminded me of like fucking Eminem from 8 Mile. Go, fuck it, I'll go acapella. That shit. He's like, I got a mic right here.
Yeah.
When he did that, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with it? And then he just started going, I was like, I was like, clever.
Yeah, no, so it was funny. Like I said, I like the show. I like what they did. I do not like R-Truth and Goldust, dude. This is the shittiest version of Booker T and Goldust I've ever seen. And it's only because it's like, hey, Goldust with the black guy. That's all it is. It's the only joke they know. I hate that shit. It's so
I hate that they wrote Mark Henry in that. I really hate that. Like, it made me mad. And I don't like that stupid rap they do either.
That poor bastard. They have nothing better to do with them. They stick him with Golden Truth.
Yeah. And Mark Henry has so much potential, dude. Like, him being here so long, him being so, like, still in fit. Like, if you go back to like 1996 when he first came in, he's still like he's actually better now than he was then, and it's been 20 years. It's like, dude, like reward the motherfucker, man. Come on. Like I would love to just get into the ratings, you know. But I need to ask you, Trey, 'cause I didn't watch it. I was getting ready for the show. But what happened at the end of Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho for the 80th time? Or
dude,
it was a triple threat match, right?
I skipped that. Hovik, can you please tell us what happened? Because I was just so tired of Raw. I just need my dinner.
What did you not see? Did you not see the whole thing or just not the ending?
No, I saw the match, and the match was kind of like but like I don't know who won.
Seth Rollins won. He actually pinned both Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho at the same time.
Now, was there any like Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho teasing at the end, or are they?
No, they just double teamed on him the entire match.
Okay, but then what the fuck was the point? Oh man.
I guess the whole point was for Stephanie McMahon or whoever the fuck it was to try and get Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens to face each other. But then at the same time, they did their whole best friends thing and then actually just they double teamed on Seth Rollins in essence. But after the match, if I may remember, Kevin Owens or one of them attacked Seth Rollins. And then Seth Rollins got up and he attacked Kevin Owens. And then Kevin Owens went back and attacked Seth Rollins and then actually powerbombed him on the apron of the ring. And then that's pretty much where it ended when Kevin Owens got the belt, ran into the ring, and he's like lifting it up and shit, blah 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 blah, and.
So one thing I want to bring up, and this might be something I do more often. Okay, like we're gonna give our ratings at the end of the show, but like I just want to go back in time just a little bit. This day in the history of wrestling or Raw, whatever the fuck. This day, 20 years ago, we just got done with this shit. October 20th, 1996. It was WWF.
Is that the? Oh, it's the Buried Alive pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was basically last Sunday, but 20 years ago. And I gotta tell y'all, man, like maybe it's something about October that they just don't really give a shit. They're waiting for November to do the good shit because around this time, Stone Cold started off the show against Triple H, and around that time he was continually fighting him over and over and over again. The main event was Shawn Michaels versus Goldust.
No.
And it's like people like to go back all the time and say, "Yo, man, like, hey, back in the day, this
wait
shit was awesome."
Wait a minute, hold on. You got a fucking pay-per-view called Buried Alive, and Undertaker versus Mankind for the Buried Alive match is not the fucking main event.
Exactly, yeah. It's actually like not even the co-main event.
It's the sex. Wait, oh no, it is because the Shawn Michaels and Goldust was a dark match.
Wait, where does it say dark match?
See 7D, 8D, and the D indicates the match was a dark match.
Oh, but they just like went home with everybody around that. Okay, I get what you mean.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, well,
I withdraw my complaint.
Well then, okay, well with that said, then I will say, you know what, Mark Merrill versus, but then Goldust wrestled twice in one night. Like, what were they thinking around that time? Jesus, but no, I will say though, like, this was a month before The Rock came as Rocky Maivia. This is a month before Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. There wasn't a lot going on, and I feel like if you guys go back to October, there's not a whole lot of Octobers that are good for wrestling.
October, yeah.
Yeah, it's always like No Mercy, and it's like, you know, I'm gonna get you back for something that got you back from Unforgiven. But
yeah,
that was
normally it was No Mercy back in the day. Now they got No Mercy in Hell in a Cell this year. Jesus Christ.
So I think that's a big point of it. But Trey, like, do you remember, like, what do you feel about October for wrestling? Like, I know it's a weird question to ask, but like, do you feel like they just don't have shit around this time every year?
I loved Halloween Havoc back in the day, but other than that, like, I don't really remember a memorable October in wrestling besides Halloween Havoc in WCW.
You know, I think when it comes to WWE, if you have a month that has nothing to do with the Big Four, then it's just whatever.
That's what I feel like too.
Yeah, because, you know, it's the Big Four, Survivor Series, Rumble, Mania, Slam. You know, that's their actual, you know, selling points.
Because I always feel like the SummerSlam, like, maybe Unforgiven's good. Maybe. Because sometimes something isn't finished at fucking SummerSlam, and Unforgiven had to be good. Just like nowadays, Night of Champions is kind of good sometimes. But it's like...
Oh, Clash of Champions.
Oh, yeah, Clash of Champions now. God damn. Wow. And I like how, like, no one really gave a shit. Like, we want our Night of Champions. It's like, it's the same fucking title. Like, why even change it then? Why even change it? No one even clashed. There was no champions versus champions. It's like it's just a regular show. Fucking stupid.
It was Raw 2.0.
Yeah. God, fucking Jesus. So, anyways, people.
All right, hold on. You know what? Let me ask Trey. Trey, which one was worse, Clash of Champions or Roadblock?
Ooh, good.
Roadblock, hands down.
Damn.
Nothing beats Roadblock in terms of how bad it was.
I have to agree with him. Roadblock was, dude.
I don't remember Roadblock, so that's got to be a good thing.
I do.
Hunt my memories, Hovik. It hunts my memories all the time. I have a file on my computer that still reminds me of that pay-per-view, and I keep that to remind me of dark times in WWE. How nothing can be as bad as this.
Was that the Triple H and Dean Ambrose one?
Man, fuck that match.
And
you know what? You know what pissed me off at the last pay-per-view? Somebody had their leg under the rope. I think it was doing it was some match in SmackDown pay-per-view. Somebody had their leg under the ropes and nobody gave a shit. But when Dean Ambrose and Triple H did that, Dean Ambrose didn't win the title because his leg was under the rope. Man, fuck.
Wasn't that a women's match?
No, it was a man's match too.
That was just recently. Wasn't that like Alexa Bliss or Naomi match or some shit like that?
Yeah, I believe so. But no, another thing about Roadblock. I know it's not about Roadblock, and I'm gonna get you guys' ratings next. But also, just remember on this pay-per-view, we had Jericho return, and you know who he fought? Jack Swagger. Yeah, and did a 10-minute promo on Jack Swagger, who he wasn't even in a rivalry with. We haven't seen Jack Swagger in like 2 months until at WWE Superstars. Like a fucking Jesus.
Well, I mean, shit. You're talking about the same people who put Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston, and what was it, Beast in the East?
That was actually a good pay-per-view. I actually like that match. But one thing too, I want to bring up as well in this show. You had Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt. They come to the ring. You know who fights Brock Lesnar? Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan.
Yeah. They didn't even read the card. They didn't even read
it.
This is what my notes says.
Wasn't he injured at that time?
No, he wasn't. And this is what my note says right here. Wyatt chickened out the goddamn match and made Luke Harper get in the match after engaging in a promo during his entrance that ended quicker than any jobber match I've ever seen. Fuck this match.
Yep.
But Bray Wyatt never faced Brock Lesnar during that whole rivalry.
Oh no, they rivaled for like 3 months. But
motherfucker,
I know it's amazing. But we won't even get into that because Roadblock's coming up again in December. That's gonna be a fun fucking show. But
this time it might actually be different.
No, because every Christmas pay-per-view is fucking terrible. But Trey,
Armageddon used to be the shit back in the day.
No, it was only 1 year. It was good. That was year 2000 with the 6-man Hell in a Cell match.
There've been a couple.
Okay, but hey, Raw rating. Hovik, I'm gonna start with you, brother. What is your Raw rating in general?
1.5.
Damn, but not even like an angry, like, man, fuck this shit. It's just like, man, 1.5, just bad.
It's no point in just fuck, man. Monday Night Raw. That's all I gotta say.
Trey, I am so scared. If he gave it a 1, I'm kind of afraid for what you're gonna say. But maybe not. I don't know. Trey, what do you say, man?
Roadblock is some old bullshit. I'm sorry. No, you guys made me start. You guys made me go back. I'm sorry. No, okay. Anyway, Raw gets a 1 out of 5. Raw gets a very hard 1 out of 5. I did not, and I barely enjoyed anything besides the Curtis Axel Bo Dallas thing.
Curtis asshole.
I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say Axel, but
it still sounds like you said an asshole.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho stuff was cool. I didn't like the Brian Kendrick. We didn't even talk about this. I didn't like the whole Brian Kendrick going to TJ Perkins.
Man, fuck all that. Fuck all that cruiserweight shit.
No, okay. Hold on really quick, actually, because I don't want to push on that. That was one of the best parts of the show because it was so fucking funny. He literally goes in there and starts like literally crying, going, "Hey man, like I lost the match and I need you to take care of me.
Just let me win.
It's my last chance, man."
It's like he's gonna pawn the championship if he wins it. Like,
one thing I didn't get to talk about. I didn't get to talk about the Sasha Banks and Charlotte thing when you guys.
Go on, bro.
That was pretty. Mick Foley was amazing as usual. Like at first he was kind of cringy into it, but my problem with that is that Mick Foley's heart was into it, and it felt like Charlotte and Sasha Banks wasn't. And my thing is that with Mick Foley cutting that kind of promo with Hell in a Cell, back in the day, Hell in a Cell was a whole different ball game than what these people in Hell in a Cell are going to do this Sunday.
Yeah,
they might change things up. I'm not sure, but WrestleMania, I think it was WrestleMania 28, right, with Undertaker and
end of an era, yeah.
That showed me that Hell in a Cell matches are not how they used to be anymore. So I feel like Mick Foley was pretty much wasting his time because we've seen how Hell in a Cell matches go in this day and age. So I don't think it's going to be anything like people are going to expect it to be, but they might surprise us.
That's exactly why I said that if they don't deliver, this is probably going to be the last women's Hell in a Cell match ever. But then half the time, like, there are so many Hell in a Cell matches out there that barely deliver at all. You know, like, they don't use the cage or they just play it safe. But I just have that gut feeling that that's exactly what's going to happen someday.
One thing I want to tell you guys, too. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that the end of an era match barely used the cell, so that's why. But the thing is, like, this is a day and age where if any women's wrestler cut a good match, like, that's still gonna be a successful match for them. So it might be that way. Like, we're just gotta wait and see. But that's all I gotta say about that segment. Mick Foley was into it; they wasn't. Raw gets a 1 out of 5.
One thing that you said too that cut or hit part with me is you said, like, he was really into it and it was for no reason, and you gave me a reason. I forgot the reason was, but here's a pretty good fucking reason right here. I just refreshed again on WWE's webpage. That huge promo, him almost crying, telling us about all the shit he's been through. That wasn't a highlight for WWE RAW. This Rusev fucking interview was a highlight. This stupid arm wrestling shit was a highlight. But Mick Foley pouring out his fucking heart and soul in the ring, trying to sell the most important fucking women's wrestling match we've ever seen. And that's not a highlight. Raw doesn't even feel like they should put it on their fucking YouTube channel. Man, fuck Raw. I was going to give it 2 out of 5, but because of that shit right there, this is a 1 out of 5 too. Fuck Raw. Good Lord. SmackDown, come on, people. Do this tomorrow, please. Trey, what does Anthony say all the time? We're going to make this shit quick as fuck, man. 3, 2, 1, attack!
I hate wrestling!
Attack the chat, ladies and gentlemen. It is over. Good fucking night.
This was a bad go-home show to Hell in a Cell, guys.
It was so bad. I want to die.
I forgot it was a fucking go-home show. Yeah.